welcome back to this new inspirational video. Since we finished The Science of Getting Rich last week, today I wanted to go on with an essay by the same author, Wallace Wattles, called How to Get What You Want. It's only 5 chapters long, it's not very big, and I'm going to be sharing it throughout Monday until Friday, so that you can study each chapter individually and listen to it for yourself, and then apply the wisdom. That is such powerful wisdom, again, that was shared with us over 100 years ago. Now, chapter 1 started out in the following way. Getting what you want is success, and success is an effect, coming from the application of a cause. Success is essentially the same in all cases. The difference is in the things the successful people want, but not in the success. Success, again, is essentially the same, whether it results in the attainment of health, wealth, development, or position. Success is attainment, without regard to the things attained. And it is a law in nature that like causes always produce alike effects. Therefore, since success is the same in all cases, the cause of success must be the same in all cases. The cause of success is always in the person who succeeds. You will see that this must be true, because if the cause of success were in nature, outside the person, then all persons similarly situated would succeed. The cause of success is not in the environment of the individual, because if it were, all persons within a given radius would be successful, and success would be wholly a matter of neighborhood. And we see that people whose environments are practically the same and who live in the same neighborhood show us all degrees of success and failure. Therefore, we know that the cause of success must be in the individual and nowhere else. Isn't that beautiful? I'll repeat that. We know that the cause of success must be in the individual and nowhere else. The reason why I say isn't it beautiful, it should give you hope, because what he's saying is that the cause of success must be in you and nowhere else. It is inside of you, and you're in control of you. Isn't that amazing? You suddenly discovered where the power of success lies. It lies within you. If you don't understand this power, now that's another thing. You can learn about it through studying my videos or example, but it is there. Now he went on to say, it is therefore mathematically certain that you can succeed if you will find out the cause of success and develop it to sufficient strength and apply it properly to your work. For the application of a sufficient cause cannot fail to produce a given effect. If there is a failure anywhere of any kind, it is because the cause was either not sufficient or was not properly applied. The cause of success is some power within you. You have the power to develop any power to a limitless extent, for there is no end to mental growth. You can increase the strength of this power indefinitely, and so you can make it strong enough to do what you want to do and to get what you want to get. When it is strong enough, you can learn how to apply it to the work, and therefore you can certainly succeed. All you have to learn is what is the cause of success and how it must be applied. This is so powerful because everybody has dreams, everybody has desires. The problem being, when we first go for a dream, we usually have no idea on how to reach it. We keep repeating this point because it is a fact. Your dreams always lie beyond your current present circumstances. Because of this, you're called upon to grow and expand as a human being, to learn how to be more effective at what you are supposed to do in order to realize those dreams. That is what we are talking about here, and that again should give you some hope that you can still realize your own dreams. Just because you don't know how doesn't mean you can't learn how. You just have to develop yourself, your own mind, your own abilities and talents. That's what this essay is essentially going to tell you as we go along through all the chapters. Now he went on to say, the development of the special faculties to be used in your work is essential. We do not expect anyone to succeed as a musician without developing the musical faculty, and it would be absurd to expect a machinist to succeed without developing the mechanical faculty, a clergyman to succeed without developing spiritual understanding and the use of words, or a banker to succeed without developing the faculty of finance. And in choosing a business, you should choose the one which will call for the use of your strongest faculties. If you have good mechanical ability and are not spiritually minded and have no command of language, do not try to preach. And if you have the taste and talent to combine colors and fabrics into beautiful creations in millinery and dress, do not learn typewriting or stenography. Get into a business which will use your strongest faculties and develop these faculties all you can. And even this is not enough to ensure success. You see, there is some limitation as always to what he just shared. Like choosing a business, you should choose the one which will call for the use of your strongest faculties. What if you've been trained to develop a certain faculty because of your upbringing that you weren't really passionate about to begin with? This really happens a lot, where people end up in a career because their parents really wanted them to get into that career, so they develop the faculties but they're not happy. So I think a better way of describing this point is not so much saying faculties but really passions. Also not so much what we are talented with, because sometimes even though we're talented at something doesn't necessarily mean we would be passionate about doing something with it either. You can be talented at something and seriously might not have any desire to do anything whatsoever with it in the world. It happens. So what we really want to understand is choosing a business which will call for the use of what we're most passionate about. This makes so much more sense to me personally, because that is what this business that I'm involved in now is all about. This is what I'm most passionate about in my life, and that's why I'm working on it. That's why I want to do it. So you're going to have to ask yourself that question as well. From that angle, it becomes a lot easier to apply all the wisdom that you're about to learn. Wallace went on to say, there are people with fine musical talents who fail as musicians, with good mechanical ability who fail as carpenters, blacksmiths and machinists, with deep spirituality and fluent use of language who fail as clergymen, with keen and logical minds who fail as lawyers, and so on. The special faculties used in your work are the tools you use, but success does not depend alone on having good tools. It depends more on the power which uses and applies the tools. Be sure that your tools are the best and kept in the best condition. You can cultivate any faculty to any desired extent. The term tools is also a very interesting language, you could say, because I personally have not really heard anyone talk like that in my personal physical life itself. Have you ever come across someone that says, hey, you need to develop your tools, you need to become better at using the tools of your mind? It sounds kind of weird at first. I guess the term isn't really being used in regular everyday language, I suppose. But if we're gonna be using the terms faculties and tools, I think what you want to understand is simply that you have 6 mental faculties. You have your perception, your reason, your memory, your willpower, your intuition, and your imagination. These are the faculties and tools of your mind that you're going to have to use in a certain way in order to succeed. So you can be a musician. I actually produce music, and I know very well that if I want to become more successful as a musician, I'm going to have to use my imagination to build ways and think up ways on how I really want to express my own musical creations into the world on a bigger scale. Right now, I personally don't have any desire to do that. I could desire to create music, but I don't really have the desire to be a full-time musician, as having that as my career, for example. I rather teach people about the mind so that they can achieve their dreams. That's why I did build a vision for this on a huge scale that I'm working on consistently every day. But you see, those are the tools you're going to have to use for yourself, those mental faculties we just briefly mentioned. Now, Wallace went on to say, the application of the musical faculty causes success in music. That of the mechanical faculty causes success in mechanical pursuits. That of the financial faculty causes success in banking, and so on. And the something which applies these faculties, or causes them to be applied, is the cause of success. The faculties are tools. The user of the tools is you, yourself. That in you which can cause you to use the tools in the right way at the right time and in the right place is the cause of success. What is this something in the person which causes him to use his faculties successfully? What it is and how to develop it will be fully explained in the next section. But before taking that up, you should read this section over several times, so as to fix upon your mind the unbreakable logic of the statement that you can succeed. You can, and if you study the foregoing argument well, you will be convinced that you can. And to become convinced that you can succeed is the first requisite to success. You see, he's hinting at those tools. Use those mental faculties that we just briefly mentioned. I'll repeat them for you. You have your perception, You have your reasoning faculty, you have your memory, you have your willpower, you have your intuition, and you have imagination. If you really consider these faculties, you will see that it is by how you're using those that you're going to determine the size of the own success that you will experience in your life. Now that's powerful, and again, as we said earlier, we know that the cause of success must be in you and nowhere else. So you should feel good about yourself. Don't feel lost, don't feel discouraged because you haven't achieved your dreams perhaps, because all the power you will ever need is inside of your own consciousness in order to make it so. This is true salvation that we're teaching, how to set yourself free from your own limitations. Now the next chapter we're going to go on tomorrow, and then you're going to learn more about what this power is all about so that you can get what you want, as the essay is called. Now if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing to receive inspirational videos on a regular basis. And with that being said, dear viewer, never forget that we are the dreamers.